The ladies of The View were also fighting mad at Harrison Butker. Again, worth defending. People kneeling for the national anthem because America is bad and racist. People worth attacking. Men who say that men should be men and defend and protect their families, and that women should be women and get married and have babies. And if they want to have a career also, that's fine. But the most fulfilling part of being a woman is getting married and having babies, which again was wildly uncontroversial until 5 seconds ago.
What this man is doing is not just a devout Catholic. This is someone who's practicing something called the traditional Latin Mass, which is divergent from the majority of Catholics. It's compared to being cult-like and extremist like some religions in the Middle East and Asia. So this is a very extreme religion, and what bothers me about that as a Christian is that when people abuse Christianity, they often not only cherry pick from the Bible, they misinterpret and lie by omission, by taking out parts that would have explained something a little better. So what I can say to him as a Christian is if you're using this to oppress a people or hold them down, you're not walking with Jesus. If you are using the religion, if you are more obsessed with the religious rituals and practices than you are with the word of Jesus, you're not walking with Jesus. And if you're using it for the judgment of others and as a weapon to beat people down, you're also not walking with Jesus. So I would really encourage him to find the best parts of faith and not diverge into extremist beliefs.
Okay, there's so many insane things about what this lady just said. Seriously. Okay, so first of all, I would love to hear the part of the New Testament where it says that the main priority for women should be to be in the workplace. Does she have a quote there? Like anything? How about the part that's pro-transgenderism or LGBTQ plus minus divided by sign relationships? Like, can she name a verse? And when she claims that she's walking with Jesus by rejecting what Harrison Butker said, I'd love to see the part where Jesus said things that contradict what Harrison Butker said. I would love to see that because from my read of the New Testament, as somebody who does not have a dog in intersectional fights, that's not what Jesus said or anything remotely close to it. Beyond that, I love when she says the Latin Mass, extremist Latin Mass, like some religions in the Middle East. Why don't you say it out loud, lady? Which religions in the Middle East are we talking about here? Which ones are the fundamentalist religions in the Middle East that you're talking about? Are you going to say that out loud? I wonder why not. What stopped you? Right, so in other words, you're allowed to be as anti-Catholic as you want to be, but you can never say the word Islam, ever under any circumstances. By the way, as far as the Latin Mass, I have a bunch of friends who still practice the Latin Mass. Michael Knowles, a quasi-friend, practices the Latin Mass. Matt Walsh, an acquaintance, practices the Latin Mass. There's nothing wrong with practicing the Latin Mass. The idea this is some sort of extremist, it's literally what the Catholic Church did for 2,000 years until fairly recently. And there are many Catholics who still do it. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's totally fine. Not only is it fine, it was, again, common practice. The outsized outrage for this it's truly extraordinary. You want to Bud Light yourself? Do exactly what the NFL and its supposed allies are doing right now. An eternal truth. Vegetables are horrifying. They taste bad. Brussels sprouts, for instance, they taste bad, and then they stick with you for literally ever. What are they supposed to be? Like tiny cabbages. They're the worst. Well, I don't have to worry about eating them. Neither do you. With Balance of Nature fruits and veggies. Balance of Nature fruits and veggies is the most convenient way to ensure you get your daily intake of fruits and veggies. Balance of Nature uses an advanced cold vacuum process that encapsulates fruits and veggies into whole food supplements without sacrificing those natural antioxidants. The capsules are completely void of additives, fillers, extracts, synthetics, pesticides, or added sugar. The only thing in Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules are, like fruits and veggies. You need nutrients to function at your best each and every day. Balance of Nature helps you do just that. And it's kosher, which means I can use it myself in the protein smoothies so I can keep this rockin' bod going. Go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code Shapiro to get 35% off your first set of fruits and veggies, plus an additional $10 off every additional set you buy. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Shapiro, balanceofnature.com, promo code Shapiro. Okay, so what is the alternative structure that is being performed by our media here to the attacks on Harrison Butker, who suggests that there are traditional definitions of male and female and masculinity and femininity? Well, let NBC tell you. So yesterday, NBC put out a trailer for a documentary that is called Queer Planet. So here is the documentary from Peacock, which is just, oh my God, here we go.
The paparazzi really are everywhere.
Everything you were taught as a kid is wrong.
Everything?
Gay penguins, bisexual lions, sex-changing clownfish.
This is a queer planet.
Queerness has always existed. It's only in humans that we have such a stigma about it.
The idea of just having two fixed sexes is clearly out of style.
Out of style?
Mother Nature is pretty open-minded.
Nature is open-minded.
Sex is not just for reproduction.
It's clear that no matter where you look on our planet, nature is full of queer surprises.
Queer surprises.
To be honest, we should all probably get laid a little more than we do.
Okay, so a few questions. One, when they talk about clownfish that change sex, are you a clownfish? Are human beings clownfish? Number two, when they say that animals practice homosexuality, first of all, we should note at this point, very few species actually practice exclusive homosexuality, meaning like exclusive homosexual activity. It's extremely rare in the animal kingdom. There is homosexual activity that occurs among animals. It is generally by animals that also have sex with the other sex in order to reproduce and maintain the species, which is what happens in the animal kingdom. Because as it turns out, reproductive fitness is the basic category of survival for any species, and that generally involves, in the animal kingdom, male and female. But put all of that aside, why in the world are you taking your moral cues from rams? Like, this is the part that's truly astonishing to me. So I guess it's true. I mean, I suppose that is the alternative. If on the one side you have Harrison Butker and his biblical vision of what male-female sexuality should look like, and on the other side you have, let's follow the ways of the clownfish. Let's follow the ways of the lion. Okay, well, I mean, animals routinely engage in rape. How much sexual activity among animals is consensual, for example? These are human categories that do not apply to the animal kingdom. Why is it that you are applying human categories to the animal kingdom other than to treat human beings as animals? As scientists have said, the labeling of activity as homosexual in animals, for example, is not the same as labeling that in human beings. Because when you're talking about human beings, you're talking generally about a quote-unquote orientation, internal desire, for example. But it's an anthropomorphic term when applied to animals. So all of this is silly on its face, but it does go to what is the alternative form of morality envisioned by the society. It's a queer planet. You should take your cues from gay giraffes or something. Okay, forgive me if I decide that I'd rather stick with the biblical moral code that has proved itself valuable and useful over the course of several thousand years, as opposed to, say, emulating gay penguins. Amazing high-level analysis there from NBC. That's some solid stuff. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.